Hello and welcome to all my Flosstube neighbors and Happy New Year. It is Tuesday, January 4th, 2022, and this is Flosstube number 33. I'm so happy to be back with you after the holiday break. I had a wonderful, wonderful holiday. I hope you did as well. And the holiday season in general this past year, starting with the lead up to Halloween, through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, New Year's, it's just been so much more robust for me, so much more special in so many ways. And I attribute that to this Flosstube channel and all of you, this neighborhood. I really am so happy to be a part of it. And I'm so happy to have the weekly interaction with all of you each week, and it's really been a more colorful, saturated holiday season. So thank you for that. If you're a new viewer, welcome to my channel. This is a channel primarily about cross-stitching, but there's so much more here. And I hope that you enjoyed enough to like the video and subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so you know when I'm doing things such as live streams, which will be coming up, and videos and comments. If you're a returning viewer, well, I say it all the time, you are the greatest. You're the neighborhood that is Crisscross Stitch in this channel, and I'm so glad for each and every one of you. And you know what? As I was putting together the holiday special that we're going to talk about in a second, I noticed certain things about my delivery. I say the words, each and every one of you, so much. But what else could I say? All of you? That's boring. Each and every. There's a little bit of alliterative quality there. Each and every. Not alliteration, assonance. Assonance is vowels, alliteration is consonants. Anyway, English minor. New viewers, thank you. Returning viewers, thank you. On to today's Flosstube. First of all, I want to talk about the holiday special. I was very proud of it. I was very proud of what we did over the course of the year. And looking back on that and revisiting the stories, revisiting the moments, the comments, everything was so fulfilling to me. And to have you respond the way you did to it was the greatest Christmas. I'm going to get, stop it, tears, stop. It was so incredibly wonderful to read your responses and to know how much you enjoyed it. That was what I wanted. I wanted you to have, some entertainment, some holiday joy around the holidays for you. And I'm so glad that you did. Thank you so much to all of you who wrote such wonderfully kind things. And thank you to those of you who realized and appreciated the amount of time that went into it. That means so much. I do. To edit these videos each week is time consuming. And so you can imagine what it took to put that particular one together. But when I say it is a labor of love, I mean it. I do not begrudge any moment I spend on either these weekly videos or that holiday special, because it's truly a labor of love. There's just no other way to say it. But I wanted to say that first of all, thank you so much for enjoying it. And it's there and will be there. And next year I will have twice as much footage to go through to put that together. So I will be starting in August. But no, it'll be great. And so thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. Each week we start off Crisscross Stitch by naming Handstanding Cat. Handstanding Cat is the top of Tiki Tree of 1,000 Faces. I'm giggling because I remember the montage in the holiday special and going through all those names in rapid fire succession, and I thought, this is the silliest segment in the world, but I absolutely enjoy it. It has nothing to do with cross-stitching whatsoever, but it brings a smile to my face, and it's an interactive thing. So each week we start by naming Handstanding Cat. And normally I spin the wheel with all of the names that you've submitted, but I have a very sweet viewer named Hilda S. And Hilda comments on every single one of my videos. And though she has not specifically said that she would name it this, she says that she sees in Handstanding Cat, instead of a cat, she sees Scooby-Doo. So in honor of Hilda, this week, the first week of 2022, Handstanding Cat is going to be named Scooby-Doo. So Hilda, thank you. You've said that about 5 or 6 times in your comments, and every time I giggle. And I thought today would be a most appropriate day to name Handstanding Cat Scooby-Doo, and to thank you for all your wonderful support and your comments. I do appreciate them. Please keep them coming. Today is going to be a bit like the first day of school back after the Christmas break, because it's going to be a lot of catch-up stuff. And Chris's story time with Chris is going to return. Chris's toy chest is going to return. But today we're starting a new segment that's going to be called the Neighbor's Corner. That's going to come up a little later in the show. But the most important item of business over the holidays is the conclusion of the Ted's Change Jar endeavor. As you may probably remember, most recently from the holiday special when I recapped the story, one of my viewers, Sandy Ego Stitcher, told me the story of her father, Ted. And I'm not going to go through the story now, but if you want to see it, just go back one video. It's in there. And we began raising money for Dolly's Imagination Library, both through the comment count on all of my videos for last year, and through the Buy Me a Coffee link that is below in the show notes. Some of you matched that comment count donation, said you were going to match that comment count donation. Some of you merely donated just directly to Dolly's Imagination Library, and I received notification of that. You donated in the name of Ted's Change Jar and Chris Xrossstitch. And I may get teary now, because this has been such a joy to do, and I will make it my utmost goal to continue with these charitable drives, because I think that they're important, and I think that it's a wonderful sense of outreach to the channel. It's good work. What we're doing is good work. But let me tell you about the ending of Ted's Change Jar. I had last year 18,860 comments on my videos. That blows me away. And that translates into $189, which I am going to contribute, along with the monies the fees. When you donated to Buy Me a Coffee, you donated a dollar amount. But what went into my kitty, if you will, was slightly less than that, because they charge me a tiny, tiny bit. I'm covering that. If you donated $5, you donated $5. So we're moving. So that's what I'm going to be giving. I had viewers send me $10 in Christmas cards, $15, $20. And we had some larger donations directly to Dolly's Imagination Library in the amount of $200, $1,000. This is what blows me away. So the sum total of the monies that I'm going to be donating to Ted's Change Jar this week, and I'm going to do it and screen cap it to show you, and I'm going to, next week have a little breakdown of what the money was. I just want you to know everything is on the up and up. But the total amount of money that will be donated to Tolly's Imagination Library is $4,777. $4,777. And I love that. All those lucky number sevens. That means 191 children will get books next year, or whenever they get them. 191 children because of you. 191 children's lives changed, opening new worlds to them and for them through those books. I cannot thank you enough. Whether you commented on a video multiple times, whether you donated once to buy me a coffee, or on every video that I put out, some of you, and you know who you are, and I know who you are. Whether you sent me a $10 bill and a Christmas card, or a check for a much larger amount, or you donated directly to the Imagination Library and you put it in this name, in the name of this channel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I cannot tell you what it means. Not only to me, but to the memory of Ted, that sweet man who walked on his hands and emptied that change out of his pocket just so the children could get it and go buy candy. And to all the children that will benefit from your generosity. I really appreciate it. I can't say anything more. Thank you. So on to the cross-stitching, and there is a lot of cross-stitching news today because I did a lot over the break, and there's news to talk about. The first thing I want to remind you of is the How Does Your Garden Grow Stitch Along by the wonderful UK-based company Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Now, I had a promo code for this which has expired, but you can still order this on their website. The information is below. I'm going to be starting this. The Stitch Along starts on January the 21st. If you want to still become a part of it, I know some of you already have, go ahead and put your order in. It may not arrive by January 21st, but who knows? You've still got about 3 weeks, so it could come and get here. And of course, you can start later. Stitch along, start along, whatever you want to say. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention one more time. It's adorable. The kit is great and the colors are great. And I don't know what the chart is going to be yet, but I know it's going to be fun to do. So just wanted to remind you about that firstly. But I had a finish. And my finish is actually, well, first of all, let me tell you what the finish is. I finished my Prairie Schooler Santa for 2021. And there it is right next to me. This actually was the very first thing called for my 2022 WhipGo board. This was the first number out of the gate. And the funny thing is, a few days as we were approaching the date when Jessie Marie, if Jessie Marie Does Stuff, was going to announce the numbers, I thought to myself, you watch, it'll be that Schooler Santa. Because I didn't want to work on it. I don't know why. You know how sometimes you best laid plans of mice and men, you have good intentions and you think, oh, I'm going to do all these and what have you. And then I got it. And it was on that Davos or however you want to say it, Davos, that Davos fabric. And, it was fine. But it was very early in my exploration of stitching on other things than Ada. So it was kind of tedious for me. Now, having stitched on linen, several different types of linen for a while, when I went back to it, I kind of loved it. I have to tell you, I kind of loved it. So when she called that number and I knew that it was on my WhipGo board, I was like, I can knock this out in 3 or 4 days. And I did. So I have colored one of my blocks on my go board green already. And the other one is 7 days on Miss Cherry Blossom, which I will be starting very soon, and you'll see before too terribly long. But I finished my Prairie Schooler Santa 2021 Winter Woods, and I love it, and I'm going to have it FFO'd. I think I may actually send this to a finisher, just so that I don't have to worry with it. I know that's horrible because I finish everything. I do all my own FFOs, but we'll see. If you know any good ones, let me know. So yeah, that's a finish. And of course, I had starts. I had 2 starts. I had a Christmas Day start and I had a New Year's start. And I'm going to tell you about the Christmas Day start first. One of my dear viewers in the UK, Louisa, sent me a wonderful gift prior to the holidays. I mentioned it. I don't know if I mentioned it. I did mention it in one of my videos. She sent me Modern Folk Embroidery's Red Berries as a gift with the Leo and Roxy flosses. Again, thank you so terribly, terribly much. I really appreciate it. And boy, was this fun to start. I started it on Christmas Day and worked on it most of the afternoon and into the evening. And I just love it. That is, all of the information is below as you are looking at my start. This was another thing that I say a lot of. This was a this was a modest start. I say that every time about every start. Which is just a nice way of saying I doesn't look like that much yet. This is a little more than a modest start. It's a decent start. Let's try that word. It's a decent start. But I am enjoying it. The Leo Roxy fibers are amazing, by the way. And this is called, I think this is, well, you'll see the names of it, of the floss. But I love it, I love it, I love it. That was one start. And then the next start is a kind of a big deal. It is the hashtag Still Fresh Fruit Sal start. And it is another Modern Folk Embroidery, Fruits of Plenty. This is the 2021 stitch along from Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery that everybody stitched last year. And you've all month of December, you've just bam, bam, bam on Instagram, finished fruits of plenty, and so beautiful. And if there wasn't a better way to get you enthused to start a chart, I don't know what it would be, because seeing all those made me so excited to do this start. This is a stitch along that's being sponsored by me and my good friend Kathy at the Flosstube channel To Dye House. And we have both started it along with many of you who are still either working on it still, which is absolutely fine, or have started it afresh, just like we have. So use that hashtag, Still Fresh Fruit Sal. Also use the Modern Folk Embroidery hashtags, Fruits of Plenty or MFE 2021 Stitch Along, just so Jacob can see everything, because he's getting a kick out of seeing all this as well. But that was my start on Fruits of Plenty. I'm also going to begin the 2022 Sal from Modern Folk Embroidery. Have the chart. I just haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. You know how long it takes me to figure out things. But I love what I've chosen for this, actually stitching it up. It really is going to evoke the Delft pottery of the Netherlands, and I'm so fantastically happy about it. So those are my 2 starts that I did over the holidays. So let's talk about works in progress, because I didn't just start a couple of things. I also worked on several things. I did work a little bit more on my Bygone Stitches Quaker Christmas. I had a page finish on this at the very end of the year. I showed it in a previous video, but I continued to work on it after you last saw me. And I didn't get much more done, but I got some more done, and you're seeing this now. Once again, I absolutely still am enchanted by this variegated fabric. You'll notice that I use variegated quite a lot, or at least I'm kind of developing to use variegated quite a lot. I love it. I just love it. I'm going to put it away until it is next called on my whip go board, or the holiday season rolls around again. So say goodbye to it for just a little bit. Now it may be called next month and I'll pull it right back out, but we'll see that. But Quaker Christmas, Bygone Stitches. This is a stitch along that was started last year by my dear friends Annie and Artie, who are the proper stitcher and the vintage stitcher respectively. So, and many of you are working on it. Some of you have finished it. Love it, love it, love it. The other work in progress that I had promised to show you more progress upon was the Nutcracker Tree by X's and O's. And this was fun. I did indeed listen and watch the Nutcracker while stitching on this, and it was great. Made the decision, if you'll notice, you know, we had the discussion about removing that white étoile that I had put in, that I thought I was going to work into the chart. Ixnay on the étoile, Ixnay on the étoile, toile, you can't do that. Pig Latin and French don't necessarily go together. Bonjour, enjambe. Oh, it does. Enjambe. Oui, well, you can't do it with the vowel. Mademoiselle, mademoiselle me. Bonkers. Mad as a hatter. That'll make it in the year-end video. Anyway, there it is. There's my progress. I got that is one of the tray pack. And as I do this, I will tell you who they are. Of course, Clara dancing with the Nutcracker is the center. There is one of the tray pack dancers. That's the to the side, and then of course the top is the Nutcracker. Got those done, and it will be going away for a little while until the whip go board calls it back out again, and it's a finish when the whip go board calls it back out again. We might have to modify that, but we'll see. We'll see. Nutcracker Tree, X's and O's, Joe Gattenby, love it. And the final work in progress that I touched over the holidays was another modern folk embroidery. I said to Jacob the other day, I'm working on like 5 pieces of yours. Don't know how that happened. They're good charts. It's because they're amazing. That's why. Spirits of the Dead, part of the Dark Crosses range, modern folk embroidery, Spirits of the Dead. This is another start along that I did with my friend Stacy at the 911 Stitcher, who's fantastic, and I'm sure you all follow her. But I'm doing the inverted version of this, the light thread on dark fabric, and didn't do much, but I didn't want to leave it be for too terribly long. And you can see my progress here. It's getting really fun now that I'm working into that upper band. So I'm not going to say it's going away. I'm going to probably still stitch on it when I want to break for some other things. But I have it as a finish on my whip go board too. So if it comes up, you'll see a lot of it. Dark Crosses, Spirits of the Dead, modern folk embroidery. Guillotine, ilotingue. Boeuf bouillon, orignon bay. Boeuf, ouf bay. I guess I'm crazy. Okay, so now we move on to the brand new segment here on Crisscross Stitch called The Neighbor's Corner. The Neighbor's Corner, we really began at the very end of last year when I showed you my viewer Wendy's amazing cross-stitch Christmas tree. Every single ornament on that was a cross-stitch ornament, and it was amazing. So many of you responded to it. I was so happy. And this will be a recurring segment that we will work in with Chris's Toy Chest and with Storytime with Chris as we progress through the year. This is to showcase work that you have done in this neighborhood. If you do not have a Flosstube, and I don't want you to be selling things, but this is for those of you who don't have a platform to show your work, and that's something that you're proud of to your fellow neighbors here. And I love it. And I've already gotten several submissions. I'm going to be keeping those in order and doing them one by one as the segment rolls around. But this week, I'm so excited to show you from one of my dear regular commenters, regular viewers, Lynn S. She is from Knoxville, Tennessee, and she sent me 2 projects that she would like to show you. The first is a gorgeous project that she did over the course of 2021. She began this beautiful piece in January of last year. This is the Anniversaries of the Heart series by Blackbird Designs. She stitched a block a month, putting them all together, and each block was dedicated to a member of her family. What makes this even more remarkable, this was her first time working on linen. Her first time working on linen. And she put all these together and did one for each of her dedicated to members of her family. And I don't know if you can see, hopefully you can, but there are personalizations, there are names, family names in here. And she had this, she put this all together, had it framed beautifully. When she first sent it to me, it was unframed, but during the break, she got it back from the framer, so she was able to send me the framed piece. But isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? Anniversaries of the Heart series, the entire series by Blackbird Designs. Such good work, beautiful, just absolutely beautiful, Lynn. The second piece that she sent for me to show you is really interesting, and I've never seen anything like this. This is a quilt hoodie that she made from an old quilt. What makes this remarkable is that she doesn't sew garments. She got the idea from YouTube, and her mother had an older quilt that she was going to discard, and Lynn took it and had seen this idea manifested on YouTube and wanted to try it for herself. So she took one of her own hoodies, made the pattern from freezer paper, and this is the result. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Where there's a will, there's a way. If you put your mind to anything, you can do it. So, and I thought that was great, to make use of an older quilt that may be fraying at one edge or what have you, but you can turn it into something fantastic and keep it around for a little while longer. That's fantastic. So Lynn, thank you for those 2 submissions. Congratulations on being the second installment of the Neighbor's Corner. We enjoyed that so much, and I know that there will be a lot of people who will respond to those 2 projects. And the quilt hoodie inspired some of the giveaways that are coming up later, and today is a huge giveaway day. Big beginning of the year giveaway. 9 different things I'm going to be sending out next week. So thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. Comment allez-vous? Elle est ouverte. And now we move to Happy Mail and Haul. Of course, over the last few weeks, the Happy Mail has just been an embarrassment of riches. I can't tell you. It was so lovely. Cards, I just can't thank you enough for all the lovely kindness that you showered on me over the past few weeks. And I don't, I mentioned this before, I'm very squirrely about showing like all the things, because that's just not my style necessarily. But there are 2 things I am going to show you, because I believe that if you are a stitcher and you send me a gift that is stitching or craft related, I want to share that as a celebration of you and your work. Even though it was a gift to me, it's still a celebration of you. But if you sent me something, a present or a card, and I'm not showing it, please understand. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And whether it was a ornament kit or glasses or cards, donations for Ted's Change Jar, calendars or catalogs or any of the wonderfulness, please know that I love you for it and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But 2 of my viewers sent me handmade things. One is a very frequent viewer and dear friend, but my viewer, Marianne, made me this beautiful snowflake Christmas ornament. And this is just gorgeous work. It's a little bit of a glare, but you can't see it, but this is on an opalescent blue with the royal blue. This is pretty much a blackwork snowflake, but just simply gorgeous. And this hung on my tree from the moment I received it. So Marianne, thank you so much for that. Just beautiful. Another reason that I show these particular gifts is because that might inspire you. Isn't that a clever way? She put the snowflake inside a snowflake ornament holder with the backing. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I do appreciate it. The other handmade craft cross-stitch related gift that I received was from my sweetheart Amber, who is another Flosstuber. She's the rogue mama stitcher, and she's wonderful. Her cross-stitching is stunning. She does beautiful, colorful, whimsical stitches mostly. And you may remember I mentioned her previously. She's done the series of Christmas stockings for her family, and she did another one this year. Just beautiful. But I received in the mail from her this beautiful handmade pillow. I'm a Leo. She stitched, this is the Leo, a little Leo guy from, I believe it's Soda Stitcher on Etsy. And Amber, I'm not exactly sure what this series line is. It's in my head somewhere. I just need to rattle it forward. But this is just amazing. I love it. She had no idea that these were the colors of my craft room, but they are. And I just love it. But again, I show this not only because it's a kindness and I want to say thank you, but to see how she has finished this. The fabric on the back, it's an inset pillow, or rather a envelope, whatever. I'm trying to be a good Vanna White. It's not working. But anyway, thank you, Amber, for this. This is amazing. Thank you, Marianne, for your ornament. I just can't thank you enough. All of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's move on to the giveaways, because today is a giveaway extravaganza to begin the year. And the reason I say that it's tied into the quilt hoodie is because I don't quilt, but I occasionally receive amazing things and I want to pass them along to you. So quilters, perk your ears up, get your pen and paper, because I've got some giveaways for you today. I have cross-stitch giveaways too. Most all of this was provided to me by the wonderful folks at Fat Quarter Shop, and It's So Emma, which is a wonderful line of both quilt and cross-stitch pattern charts. So these are all coming to you via them. Thank you for that. And I'm going to just launch right into it because there are quite a few. These are for the quilters. Here we go. First item. This is going to be a quilt bundle. This is a quilt booklet pattern that is called the Rose and Bloom Block of the Month. And I'm going to say right out front, just right outright, I know nothing about quilting at all. So you know what this is. I don't, but it's up for the giveaways. This is a really beautiful booklet. And I'm sure it has all of the instructions that you may or may not need. And I know that this is available from It's So Emma, but Rose in Bloom, this is going to come with these amazing square in a square quilt block foundation paper. This is a whole set of them. 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2.5 inch, 3.5 inch, and 4.5 inch. This is a little treasure trove right here. But this is one bundle. If you want to be considered for this bundle, please use the word Rose. R-O-S-E, Rose. That's quilt bundle 1. Next, we have some actual patterns. Again, from It's So Emma. These are smaller booklets patterns. The first is called Alpine Blooms. This is adorable. I wish I quilted. You know, I'd probably try it if I had a bigger room. I have my sewing machine put away, so every time I want to sew, I have to take it out and put it up, and take it out and put it up, and take it out and put it up, and I don't like doing it. I'm lazy that way. Alpine Blooms, the keyword for this is alpine. Then we have another beautiful one, Geneva. Keyword for that is Geneva. I have a viewer named Geneva. I also knew a lady back home in Sologent named Geneva. She was a lovely lady, Geneva, Miss Geneva White. And then the third is Zurich. Zurich. This looks like this looks like Delft blue pottery, actually. Switzerland. Not the Netherlands, but Scandinavian. Zurich. So, keywords. Alpine Blooms, alpine. Geneva, obviously, Geneva. And Zurich, Zurich. Those are those. And that's the quilt. That's the quilt portion of the giveaway. Moving on to cross stitch. These are now our cross stitch charts. The first one, this is adorable. This is really funny. Farm life. Sorry for the glare, but if you'll notice, it's a cow, a pig, and a sheep, and it's the rear end of those three. But this is a cross stitch chart. Keyword for this is farm. The second is a cute little, these are stitch cards. These are smalls, but as you can see, there are 4 different patterns: a little airplane, a ship, a train, and a car. This would be perfect for a baby room. Keyword for this is going to be cards, C-A-R-D-S, cards. I should have taken these out of the plastic, but I didn't. I'm so sorry. The next one, this is a beautiful pattern for autumn in the future, and it is called Autumn Spice. You see, it's a wonderful acorn with the word autumn on it. Keyword for that, guess what? It's going to be autumn, A-U-T-U-M-N, autumn. Isn't that cute? Then we have, this is a much, much bigger one. This is 183 by 183 stitch count. Flea market baskets. I love this pattern. Isn't that great? I would never stitch this personally, but it's beautiful. It wouldn't go in my house. Keyword for this is baskets. Baskets, B-A-S-K-E-T-S, baskets. And then finally, this is a viewer contribution to the giveaways, and I thought this would be good doing it now because if you want to stitch it up for February, you can. This is a Mill Hill stitch kit. This is a cross stitch and bead kit. It's hard to see. I'll probably take a picture and inset this. I might do it with all of them. But this little cat is called Scarlet, and she's very Valentine's Day. And this even comes with a button, the Valentine button, the heart button there. This is a Jim Shore design produced by Mill Hill. this adorable, and I've got more of these that I'm going to be using for giveaways upcoming. But the key word for this is scarlet, S-C-A-R-L-E-T, scarlet. Those are the giveaways for next week. 9. It's the biggest giveaway I've done thus far. But thank you so much to Fat Quarter Shop and It's So Emma for those beautiful charts and patterns, and to my viewers who always send me amazing things. Thank you so much for that. Enjambé. Enjambé. So that's today's video. I'm just fascinated by this conversion of French to Pig Latin. Those of you, if I have any viewers in France or in French-speaking nations, I apologize. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Thank you for joining me today on the first day back at school. I'm so glad to be back with you. And in the upcoming weeks, we will be telling stories and looking at toys and sharing things from the neighbors. And I am so excited about what this year will hold, not only for me, but for all of us together. So take care, happy stitching. Until next time, bye-bye.